What's going on, everyone? XL804, and today I'm here to do some Tarkov talk. As you can see, today I'm doing your favorite map, Woods. But before I get started, I just want to say that I'm doing a video for all the maps, so if you're interested in checking out the other ones, you can go over to my profile, hit the Tarkov talk playlist, and just look for the map name that you're interested in. If you like it, consider commenting on it, and maybe even dropping a follow for your boy. Alright, let's get into it. I want to start off by saying that this bottom left corner of the map here switches to blue. I feel like there's nothing happening on outskirts side of the map other than like when you first spawn in, you're looking for whoever's on the other side of the street, or if you're leaving to go to outskirts and you're shooting like the scavs down here. Like there is just not, this looks like a face, there's not a whole lot going on in this corner of the map. So like, an idea that I'd like to propose is moving the extract from ZB14, maybe put it back here and call it like the path between the mines, you know, whatever corny little thing you want to call it, maybe even make it a bridge, and keep the extract right there, and it can be open off and on just like ZB14, but expand ZB14 and make it into like an underground bunker. Make the area a little bit bigger. Maybe it requires a key or a key card. Let me know what you think. And just make it to where maybe it's like the armories on reserve, or it's like weapon racks and attachments. Maybe like juice the crap out of that spot to make it where like people want to come down to this part of the map or stay in this part of the map a little bit longer. I know attachment shack is over here, but like that barely fills up like a quarter of your bag. So I mean, like, it's cool that it's there, and I don't see a reason why not having both. But you know, I like to see this be like a really cracked out weapon spot where you find AKs and stuff all the time, and then you can also have a chance to find your higher end guns like your RSAS, M1As, SR25s, that type of stuff. Same thing with the other bunkers on the map. I want the scav bunker to be opened up too. It could be like a cracked out scav case to where it's like 2 or 3 scav cases combined worth of loot, and they could all be miss, or they could all be really good. And I don't know how you feel about a key on this one as well as the next one we're going to talk about. It could be locked behind the door, or we could leave it open. I'm not sure what your preference is, but essentially I feel like this corner of the map too doesn't have a whole lot going for it, except for like the road camp, but that's if you spawn right in this area. If you don't spawn in this area, most people don't bother to come by here and check it because we assume it's already been hit. So I think giving like this area one more thing other than the road camp would be really nice. And I know there's stashes and stuff throughout the map, so I don't really want to factor that in. I feel like stashes cover the entire map, but not everyone's a stash runner, myself included. Some people like to just go to a POI, you know, go to a building, hit that building or whatever, PvP or whatever, and then just leave. So that's kind of how I am. So and the next thing I want to say here is that maybe if we're going to expand on this, just like ZB14, I feel like this even if this doesn't happen, I feel like an extract needs to be opened in this top corner, even if this isn't changed with the bunker, just because if you spawn on the med camp side of the map, if you spawn like way off on this side of the map, anything down here, like you have to go ZB14 or you have to go outskirts. And it kind of sucks because like most of the time I don't bother coming up here, because even if I loot this side of the map and kill some people or whatever, I don't want to take all that stuff up here and then loot, and this looks like a face too, and then make my way all the way back down here to ZB14 or whatever. I mean, car extract is an option assuming no one takes it, but like I feel like you're leaving too early if you loot this side of the map, hit the car and go. I feel like you kind of want to do a little bit more, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about having this extract open for both PMCs or scavs, though. That's the thing, because right now bunker is scav only, but it would be nice if PMCs could maybe extract up here, and then if they open up the bunker, maybe just move the scav extract like over here, so, you know, but you get what I'm saying. All right, same thing with ZB16. I want them to expand the bunker and maybe make it like an armory type bunker where it's like armored vest, your armored rigs, you know, backpacks, helmets, that type of stuff. Make this a hot spot. I will say this map does have med camp down here, and it does have scav town, but it feels like those places, like I said before, whoever spawns there is usually the one who gets it. So maybe whoever loots med camp could then rush towards this, and same thing for up here. Maybe these people will like fight for this spot, and it would just make it a little bit more interesting, be easier to find people on the map. So let me know what you think about that. Moving on to the next thing here, I want to talk about rogues. So assuming the AI is in a playable state, because I know right now it's pretty rough. They can beam you pretty hard from across the map if you're not careful, and it kind of sucks, but they can be dealt with if we're being honest. So assuming that the AI is in a good place to where you feel like you can manage it, right? How would you feel about rogues being either at both the camps, maybe like a group of 3 in each camp, or maybe just one that's either spawns on either side, and then having like a smaller group down here as well? And then having rogues down here at the med camp, because technically this is a military base, so it does make sense to have rogues down there. Also, going back to Prapper's Convoy, I just thought it'd be a cool idea because it plays into the lore of the game, because Prapper's Convoy, spoiler alert, even though this game is 5 years old, was hit by rogues. and the rogue camp is up here. The USEC camp is up here, and that's the lore that they came down and they hit the convoy and took the stuff. So that's the lore. So just kind of curious of what you guys would think about that. Killing them and getting their gear and stuff like that on top of the loot that's there kind of seems like a win-win. Assuming that you think that, you know, assuming you can handle the rogues, or if you'd like to see the AI adjusted to where you could now handle the rogues. All right, moving into the last thing here, and this kind of stays in theme with the map Woods, and it's what if we add a new enemy type, right? And this is kind of inspired by Sturman, and that's like, what if we add like a new AI called like Hunters, right? And they would more or less operate like Raiders, in terms of like their difficulty. Like they'd be a little bit tougher, but they're not, you know, crazy OP. But essentially the Hunters, unlike Raiders though, they would roam the really woodsy parts of the map, right? So it'd be a big circle, and they would roam this whole section of the map, maybe multiple groups. Right now I'm thinking just one group, maybe 3 to 5, 5 being kind of a little bit on the rare side. And they would roam this area just looking for PMCs and looking for player scavs, right? And the way you know you're getting close to the group is they might bird call, you know, so now you have to pay attention to bird calls, you know, in the theme of them being hunters, right? And they're running like your sniper type weapons, they're running like DMRs, they're not really running like AKs and, you know, submachine guns, because they're in the woods, you know, and they'd have on like a unique, there doesn't have to be a unique gear set per se. Maybe like the shirts they wear would be like more camouflage heavy because they're hunters. So, you know, picture whatever badass hunters you want and like stick them in here, and they wouldn't be cracked out like the rogues though. You know, they'd be pretty fair, but you kind of get the idea. Just having like roaming AI, moving throughout the woods, you know, maybe you're hunting them, maybe they're hunting you. It just seems like it'd be like a fun thing to do. And like in addition to the rogue camp thing I suggested and the bunker thing, now you have like another group. There's like 3 different cool things for you to do up here in this corner of the map. Now, of course, at nighttime there's cultists, but I'm not really talking nighttime. I'm more of a daytime player, but they could be in there too. You could have cultists and hunters roaming, you know, or maybe not cultists roaming because that's insane, but you kind of get what I'm saying. So like more things to do in this part of the map, because it feels like, and when it comes to woods, all of the activity happens like, I'm just gonna change the color. All the activity kind of happens around the sawmill area. A lot of activity happens here, and maybe like up here at Scav Town, and then like the rogue. I'm just gonna make this red. I feel like these are like the 3 places, and I feel like, oh, and of course med camp. Can't leave out med camp down here. It just feels like those are really the only places, and I feel like this whole section of the map, this upper side of the map, maybe not upper because I don't know what direction the map is facing, but this corner where the bunker is and rogue camp, it just feels like most people just quickly hit these 2 spots and then they just leave. And like there's so much space up here to work with, and there's like nothing being done with it, and like most players don't linger in this area for very long. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on this. If you like the video, you know, consider dropping a like. If you made it this far, maybe drop a follow. But hopefully you like my ideas, and I look forward to hearing back from you guys. Have a good day or night depending on where you are. Peace.